crowdfunded project / pre-order. And they're fine. And here we are for the first time looking at a crowdfunded project. Also, we're going to pre-order it. I mean, also a pre-orderable product because I missed the crowdfunding on this one. Sorry about that. But you can still pre-order it, and it's still not released yet. I was wanting to do this with the Gemini PDA, but failed. But I didn't fail this time because there should be upload. It's not something messed up. But anyway, so what is this project? It is the Wu-Tang 2 laser analog keyboard, mechanical keyboard that is backlit with RGB and multimedia with keys instead of multimedia controls, which is fine. Full-size keyboard, and yeah, but under spine, in case they said already. And I just pre-ordered this like 2 months ago, but you still can under their webpage, which they made specifically for this pre-order. Which you get to this, other than using the link, you can go to the Wu-Tang homepage and click on this big black section, or we'll click on pre-order now in the big black section. You can also get the original down there, which is what the site is mainly featured around, as Wu-Tang 2 is not out yet. North America, of course, because I'm North American. And yeah. What is this keyboard, in case you don't know? Well, let's start with the beginning. The Wu-Tang is a laser keyboard. Not only that, it's a laser analog keyboard. Why is there a difference between? Well, why is it called laser in the first place? You have a laser mouse, but the laser takes place of the flashing light and the optics to see where the mouse is going. Why do you need laser in a keyboard? Well, similar function. Now, most people like Razer, more or less. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if they have. I'm not quite sure if the Razer keyboard is analog or not. I don't think it is. But the Razer keyboard uses analog. I mean, uses lasers to have a faster response time. So basically, you basically just lightly brush against the key and it triggers. Okay, that's a very extreme case, and that's probably not going to happen. But you get the idea. Basically, you press it with less force, allowing the trigger because the laser catches the key earlier, and this is how they made it. As you can see, it has a prism. It shoots a laser from one side, goes to like a reverse. It goes to like a reverse periscope, and then hits a prism, which senses it moving up and down, which then allows you to have analog. Don't know what I'm referring to? If you're on Xbox, you know that the Xbox One controller is, or you know the Xbox 360 controller, One controller, and Xbox original controller are all analog triggers, aka analog secondary shoulder buttons known by most other people. This allows you to have a more accurate trigger. Also allows you in vehicle games to have an actual pedal where the more you squeeze, the more force it goes until it fully goes. Which, of course, PlayStation's also moved to with their DualShock 3 and 4 controllers, and Nintendo still hasn't with their Switch Pro controller, unfortunately. But then again, Nintendo games are typically button presses, and you need fast reaction time with button presses as opposed to being able to hold a button in a certain spot and its travel, which is what analog stick allows you, which is what analog trigger allows you to do, which are amazing. Although Xbox prefers you not to use both fingers on the control, prefers you not to use both fingers on the controller like Nintendo and Sony does, in which basically you put the middle finger on where the trigger is and your index finger on the shoulder, so you have both fingers on the controller, which is amazing for vehicle games like flying games, Ace Combat, or driving games like Forza, but doesn't matter in games like shooters, in which that's what Xbox is all about anyway. Where Sony is more about those rather than shooters. Of course, things have gotten really mixed in the last generation, but still. And Nintendo does whatever it wants. If you can't use the controller for every single type of game you can imagine, then worth using. It's not worth having on the system, apparently. But anyway, another use of analog in terms of modern gaming is with analog sticks, which is why I want and kind of need this. Because analog sticks, what are they? Those are the things that you stick on controllers. You know those two sticks, one for moving, one for aiming, which PC gamers hate, console gamers love. Um, those, you, you, you know them, next to the D-pad, next to the buttons that stick out, which not everything has because they won't fit. Yeah, those, because the nice thing about having those instead of a keyboard is a keyboard. You tap and then you do that. You tap and you do that. Whereas, as you can see in these demonstrations, with this keyboard, you can slowly tap to do this, like an analog stick would. When you tilt the analog stick, it does that. Instead of tap, do that, tap, do that. Which, as a PC gamer, you may not comprehend this concept. Okay, I'm joking, of course. You probably comprehend this concept, but I'm joking because of more extreme views, more hardliners, let's say. But certain PC gamers will say keyboards are ultimately everything and never played twin stick shooter or never played twin stick shooter for controller, in which you need to walk around like this, and you can't do that with a keyboard because you're going to go like that, like that, like that, or press both arrow keys or WASD in case you're a newer gamer and do that. Which is a long way to say you could just point stick this direction and start go like that in order to get that instead of having to do finger shenanigans in order to do something that's equivalent to that. Not really. Which is another reason for this controller, is because it allows you to do something like that. It's just going to be a bit more complex. Although I doubt that. Although I think once you learn it, it's going to be fine. And this, my friends, is my sole remaining gripe with PC gaming as I figured out the rest. Like, for example, I figured out mouse jumping, which it still does because mouses are precise. As you can see, it still jumps, but still, even with 8,200 DPI and having a certain setting turned off, actually that makes it worse. 4,200 DPI and laser mouse, it still jumps, which is annoying. But anyway, I mean, it used to be worse before. Windows comes with a setting, which I believe is just mouse smoothing. I forget what it's called. It has a fancier name. But pretty much you have to turn that off, which I believe is a setting which you have to find, and then you gotta get a driver too. It's ridiculous. And then if you want more precision and to keep up with your brain, you need a higher hertz monitor than just standard off the shelf everyday monitors, or even standard off the shelf gaming monitors, which cost hundreds of dollars, like my 180 hertz monitor, which is what we're seeing, which is what I'm seeing right now. You're not seeing it. As I don't, is it recording 180 hertz? I don't think it is. Yeah, well, I mean, for watching this on 180 hertz monitor, you'll say 180 hertz, I think. But anyway, um, it allows my mouse game to be where I wanted it to be. And as you've seen with the games I've been playing recently, I've been much better at them. Not only am I off medicine I never needed, but was put on because of a lot of random reasons which you don't even know about right now. But yeah. Uh, but oh, excuse me, lost my train of thought. But pretty much, but yeah, I've been doing better with figuring out my 180 hertz monitor, how to actually turn it on, which is a process in of itself, and I was able to do that. But which was able to do that. Now I'm missing the keyboard. Now, while I love my, while I love my Logitech G710 plus keyboard, and will still probably like it a bit better than this keyboard because this has dedicated media controls, whereas on this keyboard you have to press buttons in order to get multimedia functionality, which we need to go here for. As you can see, the multimedia keys are here. The function is here. That's not terrible. I'm used to it on my Gemini PDA, although I forgive it on Gemini PDA having all sorts of function buttons because it's a phone. Uh, well, it's PDA and phone, but regardless, it's a handheld device. But this, I mean, you could have easily cut this out right here and add multimedia controls, but they didn't really want to make this full-size keyboard anyway. They didn't think anyone would need it. So moving on to my next topic is, why in the world do you need a full-size keyboard in the modern day? Well, you need it if you play any sorts of video games other than the other than the most well-known biggest games available, like Fortnite or Minecraft or Call of Duty. If Call of Duty still counts for PC, Call of Duty still counts. I guess Battlefield. Let's run Battlefield. Battlefield counts, at least in my heart. Then you got the issue. They won't have it. You won't really have much of an issue. I don't believe any of those games have these controls. At least Minecraft wouldn't if you didn't mod it to all ends. Um, Fortnite, I don't think so. And Battlefield, I don't know. Battlefield 3 didn't. I just got Battlefield 3 on PC. I mostly get them on Xbox One. Oh, I get them on Xbox One, so I don't know. But in my experience, there is always, I repeat, always a game. I don't care what games you play, there will always be a game that uses one of these keys. And for whatever reason, they will not be, and for whatever reason, that game will not be mappable, or it will be in a menu where it can't be mapped anyway, or the keyboard is so filled up that you can't remap it. Like, for example, let's take the low-hanging fruit. I mean, it's not a game you probably know about if you're watching this video, but other than if you're watching from my channel, the Star Trek Bridge Crew. It's an old Star Trek big ship simulator game. It's amazing. You get to buy it physically or download it on the Venomware site, which I guess is fine enough. It's not like it's being remade anytime soon, but still, all the controls are on the number pad, and then all the rest of the controls, all the secondary controls, are on everything else, including arrow keys, including the main part of the keyboard. That's one example. Skyrim mods also use liberal use of this thing. So if you ever want to play Skyrim, for example, and mod it, you're gonna need that. Or you can put it on the keys, but then again, they start getting away, and you could just reach over and use this. Also, there are always that one indie game that uses the numpad. There's always that one game. I kid you not, there is always that one game. I don't have any examples for you today because I don't keep track of those one games, but they exist. So if you play any indie games off Steam, you are going to get chance at playing them well because of the lack of this. So as a gamer, you need a full-size keyboard. You just do. Of course, you know for a fact all of your games and all of your games in the future are not going to require this, which of course you know what games you have, but you don't know what games in the future you'll have. So there's that. But anyway, and then this is nice for reasons I not quite understand. I mean, I guess it's nice having a calculator thing. I'm not quite sure. But then also this keyboard has different modes, which I forget what it's for. Oh, by the way, this is the pre-order page. I'll get to this in a second. Uh, this keyboard has different modes, which are stored on the keyboard, which is amazing. That's a great. That's a my Razer mouse with Windows 10 has been messing up, so I have to pretty much, instead of using the copy and paste on my mouse, which is the MMO Razer mouse with the Naga Epic Chroma, and it has 12 keys on the side representing your number of keys, and then 2 extras. And the 2 extras I use for copy and paste are amazing. However, if the software is not functioning because Windows 10, or because of any other reason, if it's not on as not existing here, it will go to the defaults, which is equal and minus, which means it will type that in instead of copy and pasting, which is fatal when your job is to do this all day. Is to bam go to this, and then you hit this, and then and you go to rename, and then you click, and then you right click, and then you get up here, then you do that, then you right click, and then you do that. But instead, it'll be like this: right click, yeah, and then fix your mistake, yeah. Which, as you can see, if I delete that, that would be bad because I have to remake it. And imagine one of my many shortcuts being that way. So that's the flaw of that onboard memory. It's a mouse. it's wireless now, so yeah, and these aren't exactly common. So yeah, that's an excellent part. That's an excellent one on their part, or plus one on their part. But anyway, what was I looking for? Yeah, modes. What were the modes for again? And here in multimedia keys. Action keys. Mode switch. Mode was for. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. It's just yeah, different modes. This the mode key. This day key allows you to instantly transform the Wu-Tang 2 from advanced analog gaming input gaming keyboard into a normal digital keyboard that is solely focused on typing capabilities. That's what that does. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the A's. I think the A's are just macro controls. Yeah, I think the A's are just macro controls, meaning you could put affirmative on A1, negative on A2, and A3 would be um something else. So you can quickly put in chat in those lesser games they don't have automatic F5 affirmative or F6 negative, like Wolf Tanks in Battlefield. But anyway, and of course I'm joking. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much that for that. Which by the way, this keyboard being a brand new revolutionary invention in the gaming world means it can be weird sometimes. Like for example, you're playing a video game with the ability to switch in between keyboard and keyboard and console. The game might get freaked out and think that you're playing with a controller all of a sudden instead of playing with a keyboard, which can be bad. But game developers are making it like that, and I believe the app is getting a functionality like that. I could be completely wrong. I could be misremembering, which won't be the first time. So yeah, when I get when I'm not quite sure, I do say that in order to let you know I'm not quite sure. So that might not be a thing, but but definitely some games might be weirded out. I don't think it'd be much of a problem though. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to test it. So when I get the keyboard in November or December or whenever it releases, which is their second product, so we'll see. Um, so I'll have to test it off all of the games, with all of this, and then all of more because of this, and then all of even more because of not this, but I have in a CD case and or downloads which you can find. Just in all my games to put the keyboard through its paces and see what likes and what doesn't like analog. But yeah, but I'm definitely hoping for this keyboard to solve all my problems with what if I was a clickbaiter, which I could put this in the title. I'm not quite sure if I will or not, depending on how it all turns out. But PC gaming's fatal flaw of the on-off keyboard or on-off movement, pretty much. But yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, the price. How much will this keyboard cost if you pre-order it today? Well, it would be $150, and the release price will be $160. So you're getting it at a $10 discount, which is better than nothing. How much was it if you would have Kickstarted it? Kickstartered it. Wu-Tang 2, Wu-Tang 2, Wu-Tang 2, Wu-Tang 2. Oh, yeah, this doesn't matter. That was just strictly for the first pledger. 150, 115 euros. I'm gonna assume that's less, but not much less, like by $20, $30. Thank you right there. Thank you, Edge. Or thank you, yeah, thank you, Edge, the browser. Um, and also Bing, the thing. Yeah, actually, that's Bing. I have it because it came with the browser and I haven't switched it off yet. Watch rounds. But anyway, so yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're pre-ordering it to support the developer, and the reason why they kickstarted this like the first keyboard, well, one of the reasons I should say is they wanted to see if anyone really wanted a full-size keyboard. People were asking for it, but do people really want it? And the answer to that is yes, 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 yes. Because of that one game. There's always that one game that needs this. And of course, people actually do use this. Which, I mean, it is a good way if you're doing a lot of numbers and you got an arrow keys right there. Even though they're not as convenient or as nice as these, but if your hand is over here, your hand's over there. And they have really nice buttons for dedicated control actions too, which is one reason why games use it. So yeah. And then also, I don't believe. Let's go back real quick. I don't. Does the original keyboard have the middle group? Yes, it does. I said, oh, it is the multimedia controls. Good, good. And actually, another question is, how much is this? Uh, order to that. Order today. Don't have to pay yet. Yeah, I do. You back. Give my hand. Wooti shop. Yes, please. Beep. 140. It's $10 more to get a full size keyboard from non full size. I would suggest, unless space is a concern, if you're getting a laptop keyboard, or if you really, really, really don't think you'll need it, which I've had plenty of people I've seen, and I've seen a lot of people argue, and I've had, and I've seen people argue it, like argue against CD drives or DVD drives, whatever we're calling it these days, Blu-ray drives. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. My default word for them is either CD or DVD drive. Blu-ray is assumed. You assume you have the latest, but then you can't assume. You can't really assume it because you might not have a Blu-ray drive. On the mouse computer had a Blu-ray drive since 2014. My desktop, where you're seeing this footage from. And people argue against having a disk drive, I guess you could say, because you don't need it today. I got a laptop, a $3,000 laptop without a disk drive. Why does it have a disk drive? Because it's probably it's probably cramming a ton of gaming stuff in there. A ton of stuff which it could honestly replace a mass computer, I'll be honest with you, but I'm using it as a portable mass computer. It doesn't have a DVD drive. It has a gigantic battery, but no DVD drive. And I want to be able to play Command Conquer Generals, which is a disc game, because it's sold and needs the disc in order to play, or at least without modding it. And it doesn't have enough ports in order to have a CD player, which I got, or DVD. Well, a Blu-ray drive. My headset. I mean, okay, it has enough ports to them. It has a lot of ports, so just not many of standard USBs. But yeah, no, it's really dumb. And not only are you out of the chance of playing old and new games, there are games that still come out on disc, which I would suggest to all ends for you to buy instead of digital. Why? Because you actually own the case, and you actually get something to look at on your shelf. You don't need it after you put in your computer and install because it usually goes to Steam or Origin. But regardless, it's installed to this, which is still fun. You get an actual case, and all for the same price as getting digital. Back in my day, if the game came off the digital version, it was $20 cheaper. But Steam people buy it full price for reasons I don't understand. So yeah, it's just more worth it to buy a case. Like for example, I got a physical collector's edition of um Dawn of War 3, and it's amazing. The game is less than okay, but I got the case for it. That's all that matters. Um, but anyway, and for the same price as people getting digital collectors, which I don't any half of that, which I don't understand digital collectors at all. But regardless, that's a tangent for another day. But anyway, so yeah, it's the same concept of if it makes sense to have a disk drive, it makes sense to have a full size keyboard. You can get away with it in the modern day, shockingly, and sadly, or whatever the word. But there's always the one time you're gonna need it, and also for DVD disc drive, you can't play Blu-rays. Like you can't play Blu-rays on the go because I don't have a Blu-ray drive. Having the thing hanging off the end, I guess is the thing that I can do, but still, like my massive physical media collection, which again, why buy digital media when you can just buy physical and have the case and watch it whenever you want instead of having internet or anything like that. But again, that's a discussion for another day. This video is going on too long for a video like this. But anyway, so uh, so yeah, I can't do that. And if I want to get a dedicated Blu-ray player, it's $200 because it's a Blu-ray player meant to be a Blu-ray player on the screen meant to go on the go. It's dumb that my laptop can't do that. The box. I have a. I got. See. I got. I got. Hopefully, a Blu-ray drive with it. Actually, not quite sure what kind of disc drive it is, but you get the idea. And then also there's transferring media. Sometimes DVD. Sometimes physical media is just more convenient and necessary than a flash drive. So yeah. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of reasons why you might encounter something like that, which are also a lot of reasons why you might not, but still. It depends on how involved you get. The more pro level you get, the more ports you're gonna need, pretty much. Which means this, this too. So anyway, but that's just another thing. So basically, yeah. Another listing is always get this drive and always get full size keyboard because you never know when you're gonna need it.